Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Emma and this is my YouTube channel. So today I am going to show you everything that I got with my birthday money last month in September. And yeah, so I got a voucher from some of my best friends and some money from my dad, and yeah, I went and spent it all on delicious art supplies. So you can see I got 3 new inks, which are Art Spectrum, and they are artist inks. I got yellow, red, and black because I already have a blue. So I figure with all of those, oh, and I have white as well. So with all of those colors, I can make whatever I want. And then I got a Sakura Koi watercolors. Oh my god, I have been wanting one of these for so long. So many people have recommended it. Like, there's so many good reviews, and I just couldn't help myself. I was like, I know that I could get it a little bit cheaper on Amazon, but this was right there, and I was like, oh, let's just do it. I'm just gonna get it. So I did, and it's amazing. You'll see me do a little swatch test shortly. And yeah, I'm so in love with it. It's so good. The pigment in the paints is just really vibrant and it spreads really nicely, and you barely need any water to like get the colors off the palette. So it's just beautiful, and if you haven't used one, I recommend it too, because yeah, it's just nice. So then I got a new sketchbook or visual diary. So it's an art tech diary. I haven't heard a lot about art tech, but my larger A4 size one I've been loving, that you can do like all ink and watercolor and all sorts of things in there. Like, it's really quite decent paper. It holds really well, and holds Copics okay. Like, it does go through, but it still works really well, and it's 150 GSM, which is nice. And then I got this little sketchbook, which I'm using for Inktober. Yay! And it, yeah, I hope that it will hold the ink really well, because it's got quite thick pages. Again, it is 150 GSM acid-free off-white paper, and it's from a brand called Mellini. I don't know that I have used their paper before, I'm not too sure, but it feels really nice, and I love the shape of it because it's a different sort of shape. And then I got my Prismacolors, which you've seen me use already if you have watched my live stream from the start of September. But I just got the basic set because, to me, they are quite expensive for pencils, but they are worth it. My goodness, they're so nice to use. I've always used Derwent's, and not that there's anything wrong with Derwent's, it's just, yeah, different. I enjoy them. And then I got another Art Tech pad of paper, but this is craft paper. So it didn't tell me the, oh, there we go, 80 GSM. So it's not as thick, but it does actually, like, I did a watercolor piece on it, and it did crimple a little bit, but it actually, like, the colors were so vibrant on top of that paper, and like just using my Prismacolors and everything, I was really keen to use some toned paper, and so yeah, I went and bought some, and I love it. So you'll see me do a little bit more on that sort of paper soon. So now I'm going to test all of my new purchases and show you how they work. So first I thought I would test the inks and just see how they turn up on the page. The yellow, even though you can't really see it in the footage, but the yellow did come up quite bright, which was nice, because I know that they can come up quite pale or not as vibrant as you'd really want, but it worked really well. And then the red was also really vibrant, and you can see me trying to mix them in there. I do have a bit of a play a bit later on off camera, and they actually, the inks mix really, really well. And there is the black. So I was sort of smudging it around just to see how far the ink would actually go without adding water or anything like that. And the lines are really crisp, which is nice. It doesn't feather on the paper or anything like that. And when it dries, it's still black, because I know some inks, when they dry, they can sort of go like a bit of a grey colour. If you don't put enough ink down, like, yeah, it does go a tiny bit grey, but it's actually a pretty decent black for a cheaper sort of ink, which is fantastic. So you can see me now adding little droplets to my entire palette, because I did a couple and I was like, oh my god, this is so pretty, and then I forgot that I was actually recording an art video, and got a little bit distracted, but that's okay, we get there eventually. So I mix the water in a little bit and start to put it onto the paper, and you can see that the colours go down really, really nicely. And then I was like, oh, I wonder how far they'll pull, so I just dried my paintbrush and sort of pulled the colours down a little bit to see what they'd look like with less water. Some of them there is a big difference, other ones it is very similar, but yeah, it's good to see the difference between that, like the lighter shades of the watercolor that you can get. But the pigment in these, I love it. It's so pretty and so colorful, and if you haven't used them, please do, because like they are amazing, and I love them, and I look forward to using them more. As I'm recording the voiceover for this, I've actually used them to do a full watercolor piece, a Tangled piece, like the Disney Tangled fan art, and that was on tanned paper, and it came up so well. Like even like when it dries, I don't know whether it's just these watercolors or whether it's watercolor in general, and I've never noticed. Oh, there's a spider! I gotta be back in a minute. I could have cut that bit out, but it was too funny, so I left it there. So I have contained the spider underneath a paint jar, and I will deal with that later. But anyway, yes, so I think I was saying that they dry really chalky, which isn't a bad thing. Like, it doesn't bother me. It just it doesn't look chalky or anything, just to the touch. I guess maybe that's my own personal experience, but it just feels a little chalky, but it doesn't bother me at all. So there's, I'm just letting you guys know, if that's something that bothers you, then perhaps these aren't the paints for you to buy. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say about these paints, because I've already told you how much I love them, and what more is there to say? I guess one thing too is like the black is very black, which is nice. I don't know, I have this thing with black paint and black watercolor and black pencils, like, and ink. I want it to be black. Like, I bought it because I want black. And yeah, I was quite impressed that it actually stays very black, which is nice. And then I go on to trying my Prismacolor pencils, and yes, I have used them before, but I just wanted to show you how they come on the paper. Like, they just blow really, really smoothly. So they are a little waxy, but they're so soft. So like, I don't know how many different types of pencils you might have used, but in my experience, when I put a pencil onto the paper, I don't want it to leave an indent. Like, you have to push that hard to get the pigment out of the pigment out of the pencil, that it actually dents the paper, because I don't know, I don't like that, and I don't think that pencils should do that. So I was really impressed to find out that these were just really, really soft, and all you've got to do is put that pencil onto the paper and it creates colour, which is nice. And the more that you go over it, the more colour appears on the paper, which would make sense, right? But there's so many pencils I've used that don't do that. And yeah, so I was really impressed with that. And I know that it has a lot to do with paper, and I haven't experimented a lot with different types of paper. The one that I'm doing it on now is like mixed media paper. Leave it. Don't you go near that Spidey, Chevy dog. Don't go near it. My dog was looking at the spider. I'm like, no, it will bite you. Anyway, yeah, I was just really impressed with how it goes down on this paper, but I'm sure there are smoother papers that it may appear even clearer on. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in my next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.